I have nothing to contribute with this.
I have nothing more to contribute to.
Are you gonna line this guy, or are you going to?
No, I'm gonna line
keep
him.
butting?
No, I'm gonna line him. I just started putting the screen over so I could do just that.
I remembered you said you were potentially gonna.
Yeah.
That's what the.
We got you flustered. Why?
I'm not flustered. It's more like he gave me so much problems. Like, ugh. It's like I'm so tired. What do I?
Wait, so is he just difficult to draw, or?
For me, he's difficult to draw. Yes.
Okay.
Like, it took me 3 hours. If I count this morning, 4 hours to get him right. I don't usually draw Jujutsu Kaisen characters, and for a very long time I refused because
That's fair.
Yeah, because I knew I couldn't do them justice. I felt I couldn't do them justice, and then sweet Eli, who's always pressuring me to go the extra mile.
Leveling up.
But I assume you're also using reference, right? Because you're not just drawing this off the top of your head.
No, I couldn't. I have to use a reference.
Okay.
I use to look at this guy. I use like 5.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, no. You know what you do is take it one line at a time.
It's not even that easy, dude. It's not that easy.
I didn't say it was easy. I just said that somebody can do it this way.
Well, yeah. No, I got through the hard part. I sketched him out.
Okay.
And now it's time to line him.
So wait, what does that mean?
It means I'm going to clean up what I see here.
Oh, okay.
I am going to do the actual lines that are going to be in the drawing.
Oh, okay.
So, and I have to clean it up. My sketch allows me to be as much of a mess as I want to be.
So, you're just cleaning out the excess, straight lines, and just erasing those, right?
No, I am actually redrawing him over in a cleaner fashion.
Okay.
With a pen, with an actual pen. This is considered like a pencil sketch. So
now you're using one of the pens on the side.
Yeah, now I am using a pen, and I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing right now. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, so I am doing the line art for him right now. And I have to be careful because I have to be really... I don't have to be exacting, but because he's so... Well, here's the thing, he's so stylized. Like if I get him wrong, and he doesn't look like himself, it's gonna bother me.
Gotcha. Fair.
Yeah. So.
I have no idea what I want to draw.
Well, you said you wanted to draw what's his face, or is that too new for you?
Which what's his face are you referring?
Well, you said you wanted to draw Joe from Skate.
Oh yeah, I mean he's on my to-do. He's been on my to-do forever because I was gonna draw him as a gift for you.
Aww.
Like months ago.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I just have not been able to.
Yeah. Skate is an anime that I was into, and then because, they're taking so long to come out with something new, I just kind of well, I need to move on. Because otherwise I'm going to get frustrated, and when I get frustrated, I get mad. And then I it's the same reason kind of why I dropped Sailor Moon for a little bit. Because they were taking so long with coming out with Crystal? Not Crystal, Cosmos. Yeah, and I was like, screw this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my brain is all over the place with art right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, for me, like, artistically, I'm still very into Skate. Just because I haven't done much for it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I still really love the characters, so I'm willing to do art for them.
No, I love the characters. I do have stuff planned for them. But also my mind has been on more on the commerce side. Like, especially since I've been wanting to get into, like, doing cons and stuff. And I'm like, well, what's popular outside of Skate? Because
you're going to have to draw all the Jujutsu Kaisen boys.
Yeah, it's like a must.
And girls.
And girls, yeah. I should draw Nobara and Maki.
I wonder if you'll have an easier time with the girls.
I probably would, considering. The guys are the more popular ones. Like, these are the hoes. Yeah. These are the hoes that make money.
Yeah.
They're the ones that get the ladies thirsty.
Yeah, and thirst equals dollars. So,
yes.
So, in cons, if you're talking anime cons, thirst equals dollars. Thirst equals money. You know how they say in photography, tears? When somebody cries and you take a photograph of that, that's money.
Yeah.
I hate to put it that way, but it's true. If you capture emotion and somebody's crying or somebody's like excited, and you're like in like Reuters or Associated Press, that's change, my dude. You know, that's like money. So in anime conventions, if you
same concept, same principle.
Yeah. You know, if you can capture sexy dudes, and most of the time, these animes don't really show them in a very sexy light. They tease you with it.
Yeah.
But they don't really show you in a sexy light. And they don't show them in a sexy light very much. And in this case, you know, might as well provide, right? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Draw somebody naked Shitenu.
Oh, my God.
I'm sure there's got to be a fandom sections for that, even at the cons.
Believe it or not, you don't really find them. Like, if you're talking about...
I'm sure they're also rare, but I'm sure they exist.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, there are people
you gotta be a brave soul to...
I mean,
you know...
There are people that are drawing them more.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, there is just as many people that are not drawing them as much because they consider Sailor Moon to be like an all-girl show. And they don't want to take away from that.
And also they know they can't compete with what you've already dolled out.
Yeah. So, if you ever want to get in the con business, thirst equals dollars. So
exactly.
Yeah, so definitely feed the thirsty, if that makes any sense at all.
Feed the masses, yep.
Yeah. You know. So that's my advice. I've never done a con before. I will say how I can only speak of my little shop, my little coffee shop, which I don't really plug. I don't really talk about it.
Right.
Because I haven't really done much for it.
Yeah.
I should talk about it. I do have that coffee shop. I meant to do merch. This was supposed to be a merch year for me.
Yeah.
But you know.
Life got in the way.
Yeah, life did get in the way big time. And I was not able to do the merch. Like, my schedule for merchandise was always, because last year, I was looking at artists like Sailor Moon fan artists, but they're not necessarily Sailor Moon oriented. They do various fandoms. I do not have a Patreon. I refuse to get a Patreon. Yeah. You know, I've heard so many horror stories about Patreon, so I just stuck with coffee and buy me a coffee instead. Mm-hmm. For my NSFW stuff. Buy Me a Coffee and Coffee have adapted have adopted, not adapted, adopted Patreon style merchandise tiers, etc. DeviantArt started doing that also, and that's where I got started, and I was flirting for a very long time whether I should open one in DeviantArt or not. Because I still have my fans there, but I don't post there really anymore.
Didn't they convert somewhat to AI?
There was I think it was the year before last. It was last year, sometime mid 2023. They started some sort of AI thing, and they used everybody's account that was on there to scrape. They scraped everybody that was on the site. My stuff was in there. I did find my stuff in there using haveibeen-scraped.com. I found my stuff in numerous places. And so at this, it's kind of like defeatist. It's so hard to fight a machine that will find you no matter where you are.
Yeah, it's like online privacy. Yay.
Yeah, and so I locked up all of my archives, which really doesn't make any difference, because by the time all of these companies come out with their, we're using AI, we're adding AI to our repertoire kind of thing, they already scraped the website without telling you. Yeah, this is all after the fact, and then they tell you in very vague language. Well,
so we borrowed this.
Oh, well, we just added AI to our...
Exactly.
We just added AI to our repertoire, and we are giving you a chance to opt out.
But you did it first, and then you asked me.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? No.
Yeah, exactly. And... that it's like it's everywhere now. This kind of shit is everywhere, and it's like, what bot hasn't scraped my stuff at this point? And it's hard for me to keep up. I'm not even worth scraping. Like, my old stuff is not worth it. And that's what but still, my art style. Yeah, my art style is my art style, and it took me a very long time to cultivate it. I went to school for it, so it took me like a good 20 plus years to cultivate this, and the art style I have now, it took me a long time just to break into it. Yeah, because for a very long time my stuff was very stylized and very like silhouette-like. So, to actually have a fucking bot come and take 20 years of work and reduce it down to, a couple of ones and zeros, and then have somebody type in they want something in my art style, that somebody will just, and then it just pops out something in my art style.
Yeah.
It's like identity theft.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is identity theft. And the next thing you know, you have a bunch of people saying that they are doing stuff. You have a whole bunch
of errors, and it's not.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of
trace it back then.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of forgeries running around. Yeah. Now, from what I've heard on the American front, the U.S. Congress is trying to do something about it, because the music industry has complained about it, and
and that's a whole different copyright cluster.
Yeah, and not to say that AI is bad in total. Like, some musicians who have lost their voices because of medical issues and whatnot, but they still want to create music, are able to use AI to recreate their voices. I believe, a lot of artists that are not able to sing anymore, they can sing now again because of.
And like, AI is good for the disability community in some ways. And like it has potential if it's used in the correct ways, which is the problem.
Yeah.
Is it going to be used in the right ways?
Yeah, it has its uses as long as the usage is ethical.
There's a video I watched on because I like to color with colored pencils.
Yeah.
And I know it's really, really different, but it was interesting in this British artist who does a lot of colored pencils. I can link the video if anyone's interested.
Sure.
Did about the color wheel and
color theory.
How shading and getting different tones and certain shades of actually blending the contrasted colors together of if you want something, use yellow and purple and darker shades and black and white. Is really interesting.
Yeah, that would be color theory.
Yeah, so I can post that if you guys are interested.
Yeah. Color theory is something, I'll be honest, color theory is something that I'm not very good at all. And I understand it. I understand it, but to apply it I have seen artists apply it in ways that are so creative, and I want to get to that level. That's the next level. And I remember putting...
might help, who knows?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'll put it in where our discussion?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right.
And cool. I put up a time lapse on TikTok. I barely put stuff up on TikTok anymore, but I did put up a time lapse. And somebody told me, in a blunt manner, it was kind of backhanded, but they were this piece would look godly if you only learned color theory.
Wow.
And my first reaction to that was, who the fuck is this motherfucker?
How they mean it, however.
No, I know. It's in the delivery. Thankfully, thankfully, I'm an adult. My first thought was who the fuck is this person and who are they telling me?
Yeah.
And I went online. They are actually a young person, but obviously this person knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So I thought about the comment itself, and I was this person has a point. I should learn color theory, at least in the. They weren't saying my stuff was bad. They were not saying that at all. They were actually saying that it's one step away from being godly. All you have to do is apply a little color theory, and I was wow, I get it, and I totally see what they're talking about because I agree. If I knew how to apply color theory in a way that the piece would blow itself out of the water. It was actually the piece I did for you, Jupiter. It was the Usagi, the Princess Serenity / Princess Jupiter one. That was the one that they were talking about.
Oh wow!
So what they meant was, in terms of color theory, if I had applied, and I can see what they were talking about, if I had applied maybe a couple of opposing colors in the shades or in the highlights, which is really what they're talking about when it comes to color theory.
And I think,
then it would have blown that piece right out the water. And I'm like, they're right. This person is right. Yeah. It's true. I can totally see it because I have thought of that myself. And, their delivery leaves something to be desired, but you know what? I can't complain because I do agree. And I will go on record as saying that has been one of the most constructive criticisms that I have received online. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think I could see what she's talking about.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder if you put maybe a dash of purple.
Yeah.
In Serenity's back, in the lower back area.
Yeah, it's all about trying to. I want to say bring it out, but there's a better way to phrase this.
Let it pop. Yeah, I know what you mean. Enhance.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. And I totally get that. And in this particular case, it has been one of the most constructive criticisms that I have received, simply because it's kept me thinking for a very long time how to do this, and I haven't returned to it. I should go back to looking for ways to apply that, you know. But it has me thinking, and you know, a lot of young artists, especially young 20-year-olds, teenagers that are online, post their art up. They don't want to hear constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because for them, it sounds exactly like criticism.
Yeah.
And for them, criticism is something to be ashamed of, because they feel personally attacked. They feel they're defective when they hear it. I want to be. I'm gonna take a moment to step away and say no. Criticism, constructive criticism, if done right, can actually make you think about how to improve. That's the purpose.
And it should, and that's the point of it.
That's the point of it. However, online, to be fair, people's delivery does leave something to be desired. Some people online do have the right intentions, but the delivery comes out wrong. And I've heard it many, many times, a lot of artists trying to be constructive with their criticism, but the person is very sensitive and they'll be like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I didn't ask for your criticism, so don't say it. And I'm like, these are people that are very, very sensitive about showing their stuff, and they're afraid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, criticism is nothing to be afraid of. I can understand why you're afraid, because it looks like it's pointing out all the flaws, and then it's going to make people say, oh, yeah, your stuff really does suck. Look at what this person said. I'm going to tell you that right now, that is not true. I've been on DeviantArt since 2008, and I received criticism all the time, which it was warranted. My stuff, I was not a digital artist, I was a traditional artist, and a lot of my stuff was very fashion-based. I usually explained where my art style came from. People did get it, and they did understand it. And when they saw it, they would offer up what are basically like tips on how to make it work better. And I would be like, yeah, no, I totally see what you're saying. Thank you very much for offering that. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. And but then again, to be fair, back in the day, people weren't as harsh with what they say. Like, there is a huge difference between 2010. If you just stick in the pencil by maybe two thicknesses more, the line will be like that. That's constructive. Whereas today, what is constructive criticism? Your line is too thin. You're not using the right set of pencils. Buy yourself a good set of pencils and try this again. This very, very different delivery. People, it's like basically back in the day we were trying to help. Today everybody thinks they're experts.
Yeah.
And I can see where people would be like, hey, who the hell do you think you are? Like, fuck you, man.
So they kind of suck, though.
Yeah,
like they legitimately just, for some reason, people like to tear others to shreds.
Yeah.
Try to be helpful. They're like,
no, yeah, they would rather be pointed, and like they want to draw blood, and I'm like, do you really think it's necessary to do that? Like, and that's why people today are very, very sensitive. They're like, listen, unless I ask for it, please do not say. And
I think it's polite to ask. But
absolutely.
Setting when you see a stranger, like that person who made a comment about you, they don't know you, so they're not going to be like, hey, you mind if I give you constructive criticism? Because off the bat, you're probably going to be like, I don't know you. Who the hell do you think you are? So by them just like being constructive in their comment.
It's a catch-22. it's the catch-22. It's the, I want to help you, but I know you're really sensitive and you're probably going to think I'm attacking you. Yeah, and the climate online is not one of that actually helps anybody, really.
No, people are jerks now.
Yeah, people are such assholes. Yeah, it's awful.
I've learned so much from you and Eli.
I
really have. Like, I feel like since just over the past few years, I feel like I've gotten a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. I err on the side, whenever I explain anything, my focus is, if I'm explaining any concept, until you understand, if you understand what I'm trying to say, then I've done my job right. Mm-hmm. So, that's the essence of teaching, right? Like, I don't want to just tell you how to do something. I want you to understand how it applies. Once it clicks, I taught you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't click, I'm not doing something right. Mm-hmm. And, for anybody that wants to offer constructive criticism, that's what you got to think about. Is it clicking? And is the person receptive to receiving it? Because it's not going to click if the person is not receptive to it.
Yeah.
That's, clearly number one. So, be a teacher, don't be a jerk. And don't try to act like you're an expert. You're not an expert. Especially for those who look at an artwork, you're not artists, and you look at an artwork and you're like, something is off about it. Because let's face it, there are artists that are, just starting out. And you can instantly tell that there's something off about it. And you want to say it looks kind of off. Refrain from doing it. Because unless the person asks for it, and unless you say, well, something, I'll say this, maybe her hand looks a little big, you may want to fix it a smidge, especially if you're not an artist and you're an observer or a spectator, kind of like somebody that goes into a museum to look at art. If you're someone who is simply who enjoys looking at other people's artwork, and you find something off or what looks off to you, we don't know if it was a stylistic choice on the part of the artist, unless you ask. But even then, they might resent you for asking.
Yeah.
A good example is Vanessa, really.
Yeah. Oh no.
She's come out and her art is fantastic.
Right.
She's one of the most creative people I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
She's one of the first people who will say, I know my proportions are off.
Yeah.
I know that this is off and I don't care.
Yeah.
And I love that about her.
No, absolutely. And you know what? That's how everyone should be.
Agreed.
That's how everyone.
I admire her so much.
Yeah, that's how everyone should be. I hate. It's probably been said many, many times, and I don't want to be one of those people. But there is value in saying, you must, especially if you're displaying art. It's like displaying art online is no different than displaying it at a museum or at an art gallery. People are going. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking. And it's no different. People are going to see your stuff, and people are going to comment on it. Think about professional artists that have to deal with having criticism written up in a publication. That stuff lives on,